FlagSmasher has recently appeared as a shadowy anti-government organization in the Disney Plus show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But there is a comic book character behind the FlagSmasher name. Well, a few actually. More important than who the FlagSmasher was is a question asked by my friend Sweet Shanzi. Is it even possible to smash a flag? Let's find out. There are so many issues of comics that have been published in the last 80 plus years that a character who appeared in a handful can still be relatively unknown by the general population. Of course, they're not the comic book guys. We know everything, right? Not even close. The magical thing is, a character only has to catch the attention of one person to be propelled into a much larger awareness overnight. Like catching the attention of one of the creators of a Disney Plus show, for instance. FlagSmasher either appeared or was mentioned in 31 comic issues last time I checked, and the bulk of my experience with him was mostly limited to an entry in the Guide to the Marvel Universe. But now, the moniker's part of a popular streaming television program, so my curiosity has grown. My goal for this video is to learn more about the guy who was the original FlagSmasher, as well as the entities that came after him. Here are the facts. FlagSmasher, aka Karl Morgenthau. He was created by writer Mark Gruenwald and artist Paul Neary, and he first appeared in Captain America number 312, cover date December 1985. In an interview, Gruenwald stated that FlagSmasher is a character in the tradition of the Red Skull, a villain with the solid symbolism that would put him in clear juxtaposition to Captain America. His original costume consisted of a simple white bodysuit with black leggings and a black cape and cowl. He's an athletic human who knows karate, but without any innate superpowers. Like Cap, he too carries a shield on occasion, and is outfitted with high-tech weapons and gadgets, like a tear gas gun, a flamethrower, and jet-propelled skis, not to be confused with jet skis. He speaks a whole bunch of languages, including Esperanto, and is considered a brilliant terrorist strategist, a combination of words that probably make modern audiences just a little uncomfortable. Given the nature of his game, FlagSmasher's enemies list isn't limited to Captain America. He's also squared off with such Marvel heroes as the Punisher, Moon Knight, and the Runaways, among others. At his core, the original FlagSmasher claimed to be a freedom fighter whose goal was to liberate Earth from national rule. So I guess it would be fair to refer to him as an anarchist? Here is FlagSmasher's story. Karl Morgenthau was the son of a wealthy Swiss banker who put his financial success aside and worked as a diplomat in order to make the world a better place. As a child, Karl accompanied his father on diplomatic missions to countries all over the world, never living in the same place for more than a year. Because of this, he learned to speak several foreign languages fluently, but the constant adjustment to new locations stunted his social growth and development. On account of that, he always felt like an outcast and became fairly introverted, and he had trouble making friends. During a stint living in Tokyo, Karl began studying martial arts and found he had quite a talent for it. When he was 19, Karl's father became a delegate to the United Nations and the pair moved to New York. Karl enrolled in Columbia University to study political science. He planned to follow in his father's footsteps and become a diplomat. Everything fell apart when a riot occurred outside the Latvian embassy. During the chaos, Karl's father was trampled to death by the angry mob. After this, the young international student changed his goals. Obviously deeply affected by his father's death, Karl decided that traditional diplomatic techniques were too passive. He decided the right way to spread the word about a unified world was using the language he spoke best. That was the language of good old knuckle sandwiches. Karl inherited his father's massive Swiss bank account and used it to fund his new mission. The would-be world changer contacted some clandestine sources and bought a whole bunch of high-tech gadgets in order to violence the world into peace. He got himself a costume and became the FlagSmasher. He went back to New York and waged a one-man terrorist campaign against symbols of world separatism, particularly national flags and embassies. It's important to point out that it was not just the American flag, it was every country's flag. No country was safe, not even you, Meepos. FlagSmasher hoped these attacks would spread the message that nationalism is an outdated idea which causes nothing but trouble among the family of man. When he found out Captain America was going to make a speech, FlagSmasher couldn't pass up the opportunity to rain on Steve Rogers' proverbial parade. The well-intentioned, peace-loving anarchist held the crowd of hundreds hostage, forcing them to listen to his anti-nationalist rhetoric. And believe me, if you've ever been stuck in a speech that just won't stop, you understand the evil of that. When the punches started flying, FlagSmasher was outmatched by the super soldier himself and tasted the foul flavors of defeat at the hands of Captain America. When the whole fiasco was settled, FlagSmasher was deported from the country, but soon joined a subversive group called Ultimatum, whose goal lined up with his own. Ultimatum was an acronym that stood for something, and they tried really hard to shoehorn it all in a way that makes sense, but I'm not going to go over that. You can look it up. FlagSmasher and Ultimatum hijacked an airliner and held it hostage, demanding Captain America surrender to him. Cap tried to talk him down by agreeing with his vision of world peace, but he disagreed with his methods. Cap was forced to take him down with the help of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was later revealed that Ultimatum was being funded by big-time baddie the Red Skull. FlagSmasher didn't want any part of that and fled the group. This led to him being hunted by his own former associates. He was forced to team up with the new Captain America, Johnny Walker, and together, FlagSmasher and Fake Cap thwarted a plot to set off a global electromagnetic pulse that would render all technology useless. FlagSmasher lamented that working with the Red Skull would destroy his integrity and ideals. So, good for him, I guess? Carl took over the leadership of Ultimatum and attempted to supply weapons to subversives in the United States, but was stopped by the Punisher and Moon Knight. In a later adventure, FlagSmasher was captured and drugged by the CEO of Roxxon, who used him to secure the company's oil interests. The drugs mutated him into a monstrous gray creature with no higher brain functions and forced him to follow his master's orders. He was sent on a mission to assassinate a couple of reporters who were investigating Roxxon. Captain America intervened and was forced to take down the mind-controlled creature. The FlagSmasher was installed as the ruler of Rumekistan by the V Battalion as a compromise between warring powers. It was later revealed that the FlagSmasher had been assassinated by Domino as part of a series of events which installed Cable as the leader of that nation. Honestly, kind of an uneventful end for the old high-minded anarchist if you ask me. Following the assassination of the original FlagSmasher, Canadian Ultimatum agent Guy Theroux assumed the role of a masked international anti-nationalist. This new FlagSmasher attacked the Santa Monica Farmers Market to throw his opposition to the Superhuman Registration Act, but he was defeated by the Runaways. Next, we see the Canadian version lose a fight to the Libertines. Then, FlagSmasher number 2 returns to New York and attacks a diner. This puts him at odds with the Ricky Barnes version of Nomad. Along with a little help from Falcon and Red Wing, she defeats this new incarnation of Ultimatum's leader. The FlagSmasher goes on to kidnap an international banker, but Agent Venom, aka Flash Thompson, appears on the scene and ready to do battle. Venom then succumbed to a symbiote's more murderous tendencies. After killing the FlagSmasher's cohorts, he then bit off the FlagSmasher's right arm. That's King Shark Mother approved. Deadpool infiltrates an Ultimatum helicarrier and goes on a bit of his own kind of killing spree. The Merc with a mouth then gives a bit of a beatdown to the Canadian FlagSmasher, accompanied with a warning to leave Wade and his family alone. The second FlagSmasher was later murdered by another Ultimatum member named Carl, who then assumed the identity to seek revenge against Deadpool. Eventually, this FlagSmasher was apparently slaughtered, as were all of the Ultimatum forces after they attacked Deadpool a final time. This seemed to end both Ultimatum and the FlagSmasher once and for all. But a new FlagSmasher and new iteration of Ultimatum announced their presence to the world by crashing a gala being held in honor of Tom Harold, a conservative senator from Texas. Attaching time bombs to Harold and 6 others, FlagSmasher attempts to coerce the 2 Captain Americas, Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson, into joining him. FlagSmasher threatens to arm both the explosives and some data bombs that will leak the NSA surveillance data, decrypt America's nuclear launch codes, and erase the country's electronic banking sanctions and its no-fly list. The digital bombs and 3 of the physical ones are disarmed by Rick Jones, but FlagSmasher and his minions escape after Sam Wilson fails to stop them from shooting Senator Harold. The attack is revealed to actually have been secretly orchestrated by none other than Steve Rogers himself. You see, this is the Hydra Cap storyline by Nick Spencer that was polarizing to say the least. I think you've probably heard of it. But Cap had come to believe that he was a Hydra agent due to his personal history being rewritten by Kobik. Quiet in the hallway. This new FlagSmasher is in fact a live model decoy that Eric Selvig had built to assassinate Senator Harold on Steve Rogers' behalf. An anarchist group called the FlagSmashers appear in the Disney Plus streaming series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, led by a character called Carly Morgenthau, sort of a female version of Carl Morgenthau, and this character is portrayed by Aaron Kellyman. I know FlagSmasher was created as a villain, but I think some modern audiences may actually see him as a misunderstood hero. For all I know, that's the way things might end up on The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Also, I'm going to try to get a Johnny Walker and Battlestar episode out as quickly as possible, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching the video. Maybe give it a like if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe so you get more videos about topics from comic books and related media. If you hit the bell for notifications, you'll never miss a thing. And until next time, remember, heroes are super